Ugh, you said you were over him, but his hoodie is still in your rotation. It's time. Grab your phone, snap a few pics, and sell it on Depop. Listed in minutes with no selling fees. And just like that, a guy 500 miles away just paid full price for your closure. And right on cue.
Hey, still got my hoodie?
Nope. But I've got tonight's dinner paid for. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste. List now with no selling fees. Payment processing fees and boosting fees still apply. See website for details.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Hey, it's me on the show again. It's been a hot minute, but Erik, your book has been out for 2 months now. Or at least at the time this is coming out. Spoiler alert, we're recording this after Alyssa and I have both read some advanced copies that Erik gave. The saddest part about getting the advanced copies is not getting the acknowledgments in the back so I could see if our names made it or not. But I did see that the podcast is in your bio now, so that was pretty exciting.
A big win. Big win for the team. I'll take it.
I'm nervous about the acknowledgements.
Yeah.
And
that's the end of my review. All right, tune in next week.
I'm just honored to have gotten an advanced copy.
Seriously.
Like, that alone just makes me feel very cool and very fancy.
Well, I'm sure, as Erik knows, I very frequently, if I'm in a different city than normal and I go to a bookstore, poor Barb, she has to deal with this every time we go into a bookstore. I'm like, I got to go to the YA section. I got to see if Erik's books are here. And I've got to see how many past guests are here. And anytime that I find Erik's books, I pull them out so that the covers are facing forward.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I do the same with my friends' books. So anytime I'm in, I won't do it with mine, but I will definitely
pull out.
That's a
brothers.
lot, because sometimes I will do it with mine. But for my friends, I will move other books around. I'll look around, move other books around, and then put them so that they're facing out. With mine, if there's a space nearby, I'll be like, just face out a little bit, because that means that there's nothing else that I'm moving.
Yeah, I will say, talking about your love for your friends. Before we dive into this very spoiler-full discussion of Better the Devil, in the most non-spoiler of things, love that Jennifer Dugan gets a little subtle shout-out in the book. That made me smile ear to ear. I was like, hot dog girl reference? Hell yeah.
That was awesome.
Mine was, she trolls me in her books, and I just...
And you just celebrate her.
I advertise hers without using the title.
Yeah, right. I know. So it's almost a troll, and it's also almost nice. It's just towing the line. It's
somewhere in between.
I'd like to pretend that that's an Easter egg for listeners of the podcast. That people who listen to YA OK will be like, oh, obviously this is a reference to past guest Jennifer Dugan.
I mean, if nothing else, it is like a little... a wink at the cinematic universe. This is all the same cinematic universe.
Exactly. And it is that, because I think every one of my books, and it's part of the fun of writing books and having your friends read them, is when they come to you and say, oh, I noticed this one part. Was that about this joke we have, or is that about why we always talk about this? And I usually, in my head, I'm like, yeah, 99% of the time it is. But it's also because so much of my life goes into writing. Like, that's what they mean by write what you know. I don't actually have to write. I don't have to know about brain surgery to write a brain surgeon character. I can do that. I can do research. Yeah. It's the quirks and the habits, the dislikes and likes that I'm pulling from friends and family that I put into the books. Like, for instance, I made the Easton character. I just based all of that off of you, Alyssa. So.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it because he's a big liar.
He's a manipulator and a psychopath.
And a psychopath. And a murderer.
Was the next door neighbor who is a podcaster based on me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of I think I made him a podcaster just because you reached out to me and said, "Hey, you should make a YA podcast."
Aw.
And I was like, "You know what? I should." Okay.
You should.
And I think it was at maybe the beginning of when I was starting to write this, and in my head I was like, "Ooh, what if it was originally, so the first draft was actually his friend that, you know what? I'm going to start at the beginning.
Yeah, I was going to say, should we recap?
Well, yeah, so
I would say let's, obviously the very quick surface level is all three of us, obviously Eric. The two of us, Alyssa and I, have texted many times about this. We both love it. That's not a shock. But I would say that as someone who knows you, I would say that this is the most Eric J. Brown book you've written yet. It has the most of your likes and sensibility in it, because it is, a thriller and a bit of a horror slasher vibe. But even if I didn't know you, I would love this book. And and I mean that very sincerely, but I do want to put that out there first. Yeah, there is an obvious bias. We are two friends of Eric talking about his book, but removing I would still be
coming to YA okay with hoping for an unbiased opinion on one of the fucking hosts of the show's books. No, you're not going to get it.
We're not off to this.
But I am being sincere that if another person had written this book, similarly to there are authors that we haven't gotten on the show yet, but I have read their books and been like, I really want this person on YAOK because I like what they write. If I had read this by someone not Eric J. Brown, I would be in our chat being like, we need to book this writer. This is really good.
The best part of it is because I knew that there was going to be a big twist. I actually kind of guessed at some point. I was like, I think it's this fucker. Pretty sure it's him.
I have been waiting for this moment because for the past
let's just say there's a bunch of spoilers that are about to happen from this point on.
Massive.
This whole episode's going to be all spoilery. So when you're ready
the 7-minute mark, we're giving the seal of approval. If you haven't read it yet, you should probably stop listening after this point.
Stop listening now. And if you are going to read the book and you don't want the spoilers, or you don't care about the spoilers, because I think you could still have it be spoiled and it still would be a wild fucking ride.
Yeah.
But the best part of it is that even if you know who did it, it actually does not matter at all, because the last I don't know, what is it? The last 50 pages are fucking buck wild. It's I can.
Well, I had to laugh at this too, Alyssa, because I was thinking about this. And this happens to me very often when I'm reading a YA novel, is I will predict the ending and then also be like, well, yes, 40-year-old reading a book whose demographic is 17. Good job. Good job using the additional 22 years of critical thinking.
We have a genius on our hands. No, you're right. You're right. But okay, so Eric, you're saying you've been waiting for this moment.
I've been waiting for this moment just because for the past year, while I was editing and doing rewrites and everything, we've been talking a lot about thrillers. And Alyssa, you were always saying that you are not the kind of person where you like to decide or to try and figure out what the mystery is or what the twist is going to be. You like to be kind of blindsided by it.
There for the ride.
With this book and what Matt was saying, where it doesn't really matter if you know the twist or not, I kind of want everybody to know. Mm-hmm. So I didn't try and hide it at all. The original idea and the original way I was going to write it, the reader was going to know who the killer was from the third chapter. Because
Oh.
also, Matt, we probably need to put a spoiler note earlier because I did mention Easton when I said I made the character off of Alyssa. So,
Well,
Yeah, but they don't know. Yeah, and they're gonna be like, oh, so she's the one who did it. Got it.
but
Based on her character.
But the what was I saying? I was talking about so I was originally gonna make it like I pitched the idea to my agent and he was like, I love that. That sounds great. It's exciting. And as I was writing the outline, I was kind of struggling and I was like, just with the middle part, I was like, I don't know how to like keep the stakes up. Like I don't know how to keep them at a constant, like, or at least where I'm like kind of slowly raising them little by little. And all of a sudden one day, it was a shower thought. I was in the shower, realized it. And
As
I was
many
like,
of the
it
best
should
thoughts
be
are.
a dual POV where it's Easton's point of view, where we see him doing every single thing.
Yeah.
And the character doesn't see it. So in the character's POV chapters, he is connecting with this family. A lot of that is like the emotional aspect of it. And he kind of notices the weird things, but he thinks it's just like random stuff happening. Where the reader is seeing Easton planning everything. And there is longer things that he is kind of putting together and moving his chess pieces on the board that the reader knows about the whole time. And they are watching this poor little child who is stolen an identity, just slowly going right into Easton's plan. And that was the whole book was going to be. And there was going to be like the reveal in the middle and everything. And it was going to become like this cat and mouse game between the two of them where he would finally start to try and outsmart him. My agent was like, yes, that is exactly what the book needs to be. That's great. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And then when we pitched it to HarperCollins, they said that they were worried about it being unrelentingly dark and asked me to change it to just Nate's point of view. So that was the disappointment, but I am still proud of the book that I got. If there's a movie, I'm thinking about trying to pitch the movie that way, though.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Letting like a different screenwriter and be like, write it like this was the idea. Write that because
put
I
it
think
in Mike Flanagan's hands.
Yes,
he'll do it.
I think that would make a great movie because it's like the whole Hitchcock idea of like the bomb being under the table. The audience sees the bomb the whole time.
Yes.
It's probably too late at this point, but I would say great marketing tool is instead of getting a quote from an author on the front of the book, the front of the book should say, "We're afraid this might be too unrelentingly dark," from HarperCollins.
Oh my God.
Like the book quote on the front of the book. I'd be like, now I gotta fucking read this book.
Well, okay, so one of the things that really shocked me about this is Easton is basically creating all of these situations and trapping Nate in these situations where it looks like he's done something really horrible to the other family members. The one that, when he's making the thing for his grandmother.
Watergate salad,
and then there's fucking glass in it.
Yeah.
I was freaking out.
So this is what I think is where Eric dives into some brilliance, right? Because 2 years ago, we talked at length about Goosebumps. And this past October, we talked about Christopher Pike. And I don't know if you did this intentionally, Eric, but knowing your interests and your likes, the first few things feel very Goosebumps level situation. You know what I mean? Like, hey, someone threw paint, like, and it's like, okay, like this is spooky and frustrating, but like, whatever. It's that moment. It's the moment where the grandmother's mouth is being sliced open by glass, where it flips from like middle grade horror to like full blown YA bordering on just straight up adult scary, which I'm like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Yeah. I also have to, I think I told you this, but the biggest pit in my stomach throughout this entire thing was that there was a split second where I convinced myself that the grandmother was the accomplice to whoever was doing this. Like it's when
Oh, Grandma Sharon.
yeah, like jumping
I
ahead
love Grandma Sharon.
at some point he goes and talks to the grandmother and confesses everything, and then they go to an island. And I'm skipping ahead, but in my heart I was like, oh no, the grandmother was in on it, because our main character has fucked up every single step of the way so far.
Yeah.
So it's like he told the worst person to tell. She's already called Easton. Easton is like going to know exactly where they are.
Him. She can't talk.
That is true.
Her mouth
right, because her mouth is torn up. Actually, should we give like a general overview of what this is about to say? I was about to say this, what this song is about, what this book is about, or
I'm going to say that if nothing else, they should know. We gave them enough warnings.
Okay.
That we're going to be spoiling. They
no,
should.
Not
this is a book club episode.
Not the spoiling, but like what the actual book is about. Like it's about Nate, who has run away from his very conservative family and has been picked up by police because he was shoplifting a can of like, what was it, like beefaroni?
Beefaroni. It was Chef Boyardee, which is like disgusting. I was in my head. I was like, what would somebody what's the most disgusting thing somebody would starving? And I was like, beefaroni.
It's a good call.
Beefaroni is it.
Yeah. So then he gets picked up. He goes to the police office, or the police, whatever. Station, that's the word. And he sees this picture on the wall of a boy that's been missing. And he's like, that kid kind of looks like me. And so he basically runs with it. And he's like, I'll do this for the next 24 hours. But before they do the DNA test, reach out to the parents, I'll dip. I'll go to the hospital, whatever, I'm sure I would be like, I'm going to get rehydrated. I'll get some food and then I'm getting the fuck out. And so that's kind of his plan. But then they end up calling the parents way too early in the whole thing. And so now he's like in a bit of a pickle. And now the parents are like, now he's like, okay, well, these parents think that I have come back and I'm their long lost son. And they're so particularly the mom is so emotional about it, of course. And so now he has to make some choices. Does he break this poor woman's heart and try to run away early? He goes back and forth with this really the entire book about what his plan is going to be. And then he starts to feel kind of like, damn, this is a really nice family and they really care about me. And it's just, really nice. And so you go through this whole journey. And as the story is moving along, all of these crazy things are happening. Like the gas is left on in the house and they all have to evacuate. There's another time where Grandma Sharon eats this Watergate salad that Nate allegedly prepared. Yeah, the paint on the car, all of these things. And someone being killed.
The hydrangeas were killed.
Someone in the house is framing this fake Nate for all of these things. And so now he's like, someone in the house knows I'm not him and I don't know who it is. So you have that mystery going. Then it's also like, well, what happened to the real Nate? And then we have Miles, who's the next door neighbor, who is like a true crime podcast kid. He loves it. And they were best friends when they were kids. So now he's trying to figure out the story as well. But Miles immediately knows that Nate is not Nate. Yeah. So that's did I miss anything? That's the general.
No, I think that's basically all of it. I think that there's this other piece that again applause to Erik, where there is this debate back and forth where there are reasons and motives for everyone to know that he's not who he says he is. But there's that constant back and forth of well, let's say the father was the person who killed his son and got away with it. Shouldn't he be all on board for this? Because now he definitely can't be a suspect because that person isn't dead anymore. And then you introduce the money that's owed from the life insurance policy.
Oh my God, I forgot about the life insurance.
There's almost every character has a reason why they should just go along with it. And a reason why they absolutely shouldn't just go along with it. Yeah. So no one's ever in the clear fully.
What if you would find out at the end it was all three of them? They're like, yeah. Oh, that would actually be kind of cute. Because then they'd be like, yeah.
The family that stays together stays together. Yeah.
And I've always said that. One of my favorite characters is Valencia. Nate's real mom, because she's a little kooky, but you find out later that she knew that this kid was not Nate, and but was like desperately trying to make it work for reasons I'm sure that were like she misses her son, and also this poor kid has just shown up here, like, oh my god. So like it really shows the humanity in her. I mean, she's an amazing character actually to the end, but her humanity really shines through even from the beginning, where you find out that she's a dentist, and a dental cleaning, she shaves down one of Nate's teeth, fake Nate's teeth, because real Nate had a chip in one of his teeth, and she wanted to make sure the dental records would like kind of match up. Like that was making me like well up. I was like, oh my god, this poor mom is just so badly missing her real son, and she's like, whatever works.
Yeah.
At this point,
traumatized, and then also she's like, it's empty nest because Easton just went to college for the first time, and then all of a sudden she has an empty nest, and it's like, oh look, you're the one kid you probably thought was dead for the past 10 years. He's back. So she was like excited, and then she sees him, and the minute she sees him, she's like, that's not my son. But she was so hopeful and so excited and so happy that she was like, just tell yourself it is. Who cares? Whoever this kid is, let's see who he is first, and then we'll figure it out. And so she chooses to lie. And she's like kind of just like Nate, where she has this moment of panic and then goes, just go with it, see what happens. What if you're wrong? And so like she gets in her head about that, and so she like latches onto that and just digs deep into the denial and just keeps going to it. And, but by the time she kind of realizes the truth, she's like, I don't actually care. So
and it ends up being like, you know, to the tune of many queer YA stories, it ends up being a found family story for both Nate and for Valencia, because by the end she basically kills her son, the crazy one, Easton, and Marcus is also dead. So like she doesn't have her husband, doesn't have either of her biological boys, but she has this boy who's here who like is actually wanting to be loving and caring and whatever, a good son to her. And so she has found family just as much as he has, which is really beautiful. And that, like, the last scene, oh my god, I don't even know how. I think I read like 6 words on the pages because I was like trying to get through. So like when we find out everything about Easton, who he's just like evil villain like just like I just imagine
sociopath too, an intelligent psychopath.
Yeah,
the
he's
worst kind.
Nuts. Yes. So when we get to the end, and Valencia basically has to make the choice of like, do I save my son, who is obviously a monster that I knew was a monster, but was hoping to God was not this bad? Do I save him and put him back out into the world, or do I finish it now? It'll look like a mistake, and then we move forward, and like I have a clean slate. I couldn't imagine as a mom having to make that decision, but that was like so badass that she was like, oh yeah, fuck this kid.
And I was very excited at how badass it was that she was
so badass.
That she just shot him. And I was like, holy shit. Like that was not where I expected it to go. And off of all of that, I have a big question for you, Eric, which is, were there major changes or pushbacks that you got with parts of this book? Because this is way darker than even the light that's left in the world stuff. Like this is some heavy shit.
This is the only one I've ever gotten pushback on. It's like, really, this is the only book that anybody has ever been like, ooh, this is a little bit too intense. I think we should dial this back. But it also, the whole book changed, like from the original first draft to what it is now. And some of them were like fun changes. I mean, all of them are good changes, but like there was one that I was happy about, which I don't know what's going on with. So like, you know how in the beginning the parents were trying to send him to conversion therapy. The first draft, it took place entirely in Pennsylvania. And so the family had like a mountain house that they would go to. So instead of the boathouse at the end of this one, it was a mountain house that they had, and that is where the murder took place. And
Got it.
there was a completely different way that Easton had to hide the body, because he was a 10-year-old boy who, how's a 10-year-old gonna hide the body? And that was like the hardest thing for me to come up with. And so like when we changed it, I had to change it from Pennsylvania to both Maryland, and in the beginning he's in West Virginia. It's where the Nate character is born and raised. Because in Pennsylvania, they outlawed conversion therapy for minors.
Wow.
While I was editing the book. And I was like,
wow, great.
This is the greatest problem I've ever had. Love that.
Yeah.
But then I had to change like the location and everything. And at the same time, I had it was right around there. The other difference was, instead of Miles, it was his friend who was, he mentions in the beginning, that kind of rats him out, that sends him to conversion therapy.
Yeah.
Her name is Frankie. That did not happen in the first draft. She didn't rat him out. She was the open, proud lesbian. And there was even this bit where in the middle, where his disappearance was a lot bigger, and like where it was like a national news story. And so when they found him, it became a national news story again. And this morning show shows up wanting him and the family to be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is kind of investigating. He thinks that it's Marcus, and he's like, I can probably get this dude to finally mess up on national television. I'm going to do this. And so he like goes on TV and tries to mess it up. And Easton is also there being interviewed, and kind of keeps changing the narrative, but like to make sure that it like still fits whatever he wants his end story to be. Because Easton is basically, as soon as this character comes into his life, he's like, okay, well, I have to change this whole thing now and make this guy the suspect. But throughout all of that, Frankie sees him on TV and shows up the day after Easton confesses to Nate.
Wow.
And so she shows up to the house, and she's like, why the fuck are you pretending to be this person on national television? Easton sees her, and so she is the one that Easton kidnaps and is like hiding, and that's how the ending's still pretty much the same. But
yeah, I think that there's more weight, honestly, with the Marcus kidnapping to me than Frankie.
Yeah.
That was
what is
crazy.
Marcus is the dad. What is?
Miles. Miles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but okay.
I think there's more.
That was the note from my editors. They were like, "Hey, we want," because Miles was still kind of there, but he was in the side, like on the sidelines a little bit, and so they were like, to make it simple, I think you should kind of combine a little bit of Frankie and Miles, and make Miles more of the love interest, where he can be involved in it too. And I think it does work better that way.
Let me ask, was there a love interest in the original draft?
It was Miles, but it was like a crush thing. It was not nearly, it wasn't a real romance. Like this, I added more romance.
I was going to say, if you really wanted to make it fucked up, it could have been that he had a crush on his fake brother.
Oh, God.
So I will say that in the original draft, where it was the dual POV, it was going to be that, where it was like there's like this weird homoerotic tension between them the whole time. It would never have amounted to anything, but it was just like that weird, like secret homoerotic through line that I was like, ooh, that'll be really fucked up.
Yeah.
Love it.
And it would have been.
Planning a wedding shouldn't feel overwhelming. The Knot brings everything together in one place. Vendors who get your vibe, a custom planning checklist, guest list tools, and a free wedding website that syncs with it all. So instead of juggling a dozen apps and spreadsheets, you can actually enjoy getting married. Get started at theknot.com/audio. The Knot. Let's plan your wedding together.
Score more with the college-branded Venmo debit card and earn up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash. Got paid back? With the Venmo debit card, you can instantly access your balance and spend on what you want, like game day snacks, gear, tickets, and more. The more you do, the more cash back you can earn. Plus, there's no monthly fee or minimum balance. Sign up now at Venmo.com/collegecard. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. Select schools available. Venmo Stash terms and exclusions apply at venmo.me/stash terms. Max $100 cash back per month.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This episode is brought to you by White Claw Surge. Nice choice hitting up this podcast. No surprises. You're all about diving into tastes everyone in the room can enjoy. Just like White Claw Surge. It's for celebrating those moments when connections have been made and the night's just begun. With bold flavors and 8% alcohol by volume, unleash the night. Unleash White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. 8% alcohol by volume. White Claw Seltzer Works. Chicago, Illinois.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Gary the Snake. And your last name? The Snake.
Dream Team. Get new habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG. And right now you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto-renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
Looking for a new seasonal anime? Want to know what new anime music is out there? Looking to add a new waifu or husbando to the list? Or are you just looking for a modern or classic anime to add to your plan to watch list? My name is Nick and I run the Waifus and Weeaboos podcast. And you can check me out on Geekscape.net.
So one of the other parts, I mean, the ending of the book is really the thing that is like the most shocking. And so when Miles is kidnapped and then Valencia and Marcus and Nate are all in this boathouse, like bound, gagged, and Easton is just kind of like, like revealing his
doing
whole...
the James Bond thing,
Yeah.
villain thing where he confesses everything. But it's like, I know that's such an important part, but I was like, I have to put it in, but I hate that because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it does if you have a highly intelligent psychopath, because he wants people to know how smart he is. And so he wants to talk about himself.
Yeah.
And that's why
Well,
that was my excuse at the end there.
Well, it makes the most sense for him to admit all of it, specifically when he's giving his explanation and he's like, yeah, I killed Nate just to see if I could. Like,
yeah. Oh, that's
they wanted
crazy.
me to give him more of a motive. And I was like, what would I like finally responded? I was like, okay, so what would the motive be for you?
Yeah.
And nobody could come up with one. I was like, exactly. He doesn't have a motive. He's a psychopath. He likes to play games with people. Like he's playing mental mind games the whole time. But even when they're all tied up at the end, he's still playing mind games with him.
Yeah, he's still trying to do the Marcus thing.
Yeah.
Where he tries to...
And the only thing he wanted from that entire thing was that when Marcus died, he wanted Marcus to think that his wife believed he was a child murderer.
That was horrible. Horrible.
It's a horrible way to die. Like to think that the love of your life, it thinks that you murdered your own children. It's like, that's a terrible way to die.
So sad.
And for him specifically, he believes in no afterlife, no souls, no anything. So he's like, as soon as you're dead, you're dead. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to make the last living moments of this person's life where there is nothing afterwards. I'm going to make it miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how bad he is.
Yeah.
And I think finally when I like kind of put in all of that and explained it a little bit more, they were just like, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. Yeah, like just to want to create that for someone that's your actual father is crazy. Yeah. Although Marcus gave me the willies.
He was supposed to, because he was the red herring the whole time.
Yeah, he gave me the willies the whole story. I was like, I thought it was either going to be Marcus or Easton. I can't remember when my tip off was that I was like, oh, it has to be this fuck.
Oh, So again, like I said, big compliments to the 40-year-old solving the mystery. It was the second that they even brought up the teacher dying from the nut allergy, and I was just like,
about that.
I was like, Easton. I'm like, Easton did this shit. They're gonna set it up to seem like Marcus had means, but like he's not serial mom here. Like he's like,
well, And he also is like he's acting sincere, but it doesn't feel sincere even reading it. Like, even as the reader, I'm like, I don't trust this fucking guy. Like, he's crying about how he, I'm so sorry, I didn't believe you right away and all this kind of stuff. And like, as I'm reading it, I'm like, I don't know about you. And it's, how did you even do that? Because was it like making those moments feel too emotional, like we overshot it, and so that's why we're kind of like, why is he, this is weird.
I wanted to make it so that because he doesn't really understand, like he understands, but he doesn't feel emotions the way that we all do. And so if he's trying to express an emotion to somebody, he has to like do the theater thing where he's like playing to the back row. And so that's why he's the one who cried. I think he's the only one other than like Valencia at the end who cries. And it's because he's telling himself what he believes people should be, like what he should be doing. And I wanted it to be very obvious that it was Easton the whole time, because I wanted the character to, like the reader, I wanted the character to not, because why would you think that? This is a book. Like, if in real life, obviously, it's not going to be the kid. But he got very lucky and to get away with it, because he probably would have fucked up and something would have happened. There would have been like some different outcome had most of the police and everything around him not fucked up so royally.
Yeah.
And which is like my whole anti-propaganda stance for
this. Boy, is it, and I loved every second of it.
Love it.
Because let's be real,
they always do. They fuck it up every time.
When even when Valencia uses it towards the end, where she's just like, "Look, case is closed as far as they're concerned. Like, they're not going to ask any more questions about this."
Yeah.
The thing is, the FBI has a PR hotline that you can call, and you can talk to FBI agents to figure out, like, if you're a writer, a director, actor, you can talk to FBI agents to say what would happen in this case.
That's so cool.
I did it, and I wrote an email and got a phone call from this guy who's like basically a supervisory special agent, I think, for most of like the East Coast. And he is now in this PR area. And I gave him the whole rundown, like the whole plot, and told him what it would be. And I was like, so what would the steps be if this happened? Like, how would you investigate it? And he's just like, well, we wouldn't, because we're the FBI. We don't get involved in this. So the local police would just basically go to the parents, ask for the last whereabouts, and try to track them down. And I'm like, okay, what if that doesn't lead anywhere? He'd be like, they can't do anything.
Whoa.
Like, if they believe, there is a body in this location, they will get cadaver dogs and they'll go out there. Or if he disappeared in this location, they will go out and search and fan out in like a radius around. And he was like, there's nothing you can do if there is no evidence of an actual crime being committed. So that's one thing. And then I was like, okay, well, there is a character who's an FBI agent. You say you don't get involved. When would you get involved? He was like, we wouldn't. For a children's kidnapping, we wouldn't, unless they were taken across state lines. And that's when I introduced the Pennsylvania, the gas station thing, which was just some dude who was on his phone thinking and trying to do a hero thing and be like, oh, I saw some kid that looks like him in Pennsylvania at this gas station, and they just couldn't find a video of it. So they just assumed it was, okay, now we're issuing an Amber Alert with a blue Honda, and that's it. No license plate, no nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like all these little things just kind of really fucked it up for everybody.
Yeah,
and that's why I also had the FBI agent be the one who came in and was like, okay, well, now that this Pennsylvania thing happened, we're going to do this a little bit more. We're going to have more resources for you, because a lot of small towns don't have those resources. So and this is like a off the record kind of thing, because it's not in the book, but when you're writing a book, you have to have background stuff for every single character. The whole thing with the gas station in Pennsylvania, that was actually because of Agent Grant. So he kind of set all of that up. He went, he just drove from Maryland to Pennsylvania to the gas station, like a rest stop that he knew.
Yeah.
And
called in the tip.
Basically went up to, as he was like paying for his gas, went up to the cashier and was like, that kid out in the blue Honda, did you see him? He looked a lot like that one that they said disappeared. I don't want to cause any trouble though. And then walked away and let the other guy do it.
So that he could get involved.
Lied. Yeah. And so he lied. This gas station attendant lied and said he saw all of this. That's why there's no evidence of it anywhere.
Yeah.
Which it did end up actually fucking them over though, because then they start chasing after this woman who doesn't exist that stole him. So
Right. Tell me about the choice of having Nate's body be like physically discoverable still, because that is also like super dark, grisly detail.
Because there were two things with that. It was because in my head, I was like, a 10-year-old isn't going to be able to dig a grave. Like, if he does, it's going to be a shallow grave. And honestly, I don't even think it'll be like deeper than maybe like 3 inches. And
for sure.
I just didn't see it possible. So I was like, how would he hide the body? And I was like, maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he's so confident because he does want them to find the body, to be real. He wants to basically, he knows they're going to try, if somebody finds the body, he knows they're going to figure it out. So he wants basically the police to show up and find the body and then take his dad away. He doesn't at the time realize that they'd see his little 10-year-old hand marks bruised around his brother's neck, but that's neither here nor there. So he just kind of like left it. And at the same time, that is also part of his kind of like, he's so confident that he doesn't think he is wrong. He's like, I don't need to bury the body because I want them to find it. But also, if they don't,
who cares?
I don't really care about him. I don't care about this body. It was my brother. It's not anymore. I'll just leave it there. And then he also would go out and visit it too. But I didn't include that.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like that was one of the saddest parts of it to me. It's like, oh my God, this little boy. And it's like, he's not real. This is a fictional character. But I'm like, this little boy who was like only 5 and had his like whole life ahead of him. And he's just...
I think the part that I'm thankful that Erik doesn't dive into in the book, but obviously my adult brain goes to is like, I don't even want to think about what a 10-year-old's corpse not properly taken care of looks like just tossed in the ground over 10 years.
Well, I did explain it, but that was one of the parts they asked me to cut. They were like, it's a little too grim to see a 6-year-old's body and you describing the way that
it's
whatever is left on their stone, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I was like, all right. But then like I cut it out. And then during copy edits, the copy editor highlighted a thing at one point. They're like, after 10 years, wouldn't it just be bones? And I was like, yeah, I did explain that, but can't keep it in there anymore. So I kind of talked around it. I think I mentioned that she like has a blanket or a t-shirt of his that she wraps him in because it's just bones.
Yeah.
And then buries it.
Yeah.
So sad. Poor Valencia.
Yeah. But she has another son now.
Yeah.
She can get it right the third time.
Yeah. God.
Is that what the name of the sequel is going to be?
Yeah.
Get it right the third time.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It was a wild ride. Like even knowing that like Easton probably did it, there's no way you would know.
And I did. I wanted people to know because I just wanted it to, like you said, Matt, with the beginning where it's like kind of goosebumps and like it's like soft middle grade horror. I wanted people to kind of be lulled into that like false sense of security where it feels like that. And I think I mentioned The Face on the Milk Carton, the book. I kind of wanted it to feel a little bit like that, where it's like, oh, this is all going to be pretty safe and fine. And then all of a sudden you get to especially the Watergate salad scene and it's like, oh shit, this is gonna get a little violent, and then it just
Yeah.
kind of escalates exponentially from there. But I wanted readers to sit there and think, oh, this has to be this like really cookie cutter idea. So it has to be obviously the most obvious one, who is Easton. And then sometimes you're like, maybe Marcus.
Yeah.
And then you just go back and forth between the two of them, because I wanted people, when the reveal happens, to be like, okay, I was right because I saw all of the clues that Easton had been leaving. And I understood why this character, Nate, may have thought it was Marcus instead.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that we have a slightly tighter out than we usually do, but there is one thing that you said to me damn near 3 years ago that I have not forgotten, and I want to bring it up. And that is the orphan first kill.
Yeah.
Which I believe you told me at one point that movie was also among, with the face on the milk carton and Christopher Pike, that is also something that you attribute a little bit to like the starting nugget in your brain for this.
It was Orphan First Kill and the movie Titane were the two main ones, which I cannot recommend anybody watch Titane. I love it. I think it is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's fucking weird, y'all. Have either of you seen it?
Is that the one where the person has sex with a car?
Yes.
What?
And is impregnated by the car.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
I don't see how that
is this?
I don't see how that connects to this.
Horror, thriller,
Oh my god.
drama. But like, so it's this woman, she's a serial killer, she's killing all of these people and then has sex with a car, and ends up, the police start to find out that she is a serial killer and they're tracking her down. And while she is trying to flee the country in a train station, she sees a poster of a kid who disappeared. Like, I think she's an adult, so this was a kid who was like maybe 14 when he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And so she, at the train station, buys some clothes, buys I think scissors and stuff, and just cuts her hair really, really short, and then breaks her fucking nose to make herself like look. She already kind of looks a little bit masculine, but like to make herself look like a boy, and then wraps her breasts, and then realizes she's pregnant from the car, and wraps up the baby bump, and then goes to the police, and they basically tell this father that they found his son, and she ends up going home with him, but like is getting more and more pregnant and is leaking motor oil out of her breasts, and it is fucking wild. But I have to tell you something. The reason this movie did so much to my psyche and inspired so much of Better the Devil is because I'm kind of spoiling it a little bit. I don't care, because I don't think you're going to watch the movie. It's fucking crazy. And it's also in French. So it's like, It's a great movie. I don't think you're going to miss anything by me spoiling it. But like at the end, the father does find out that this isn't his son, and he still loves her.
Yeah.
And he's like, I still want to take care of you. I don't care. And I was like, that's so beautiful. And so that's when I saw Orphan First Kill. I was like, it was kind of a little bit of the opposite, where it was like this mother who is going to protect her kid like no matter what. It's like gung-ho. And I won't even spoil that one because I thought it was so great. And I think more people should watch that one. But I twisted both of those and kind of just globbed them all together to create this family, this sort of dysfunctional family, but also loving found family, you know? So I think both of them, their DNA is right in there. It's great.
Yeah, fully. Oh my God. Wow. What a crazy fucking story.
I love
It's a great movie. Titane is so good. You should really watch it.
Crazy. I would like to know like what the person who wrote that story, like what the purpose of her getting pregnant by a car is. Like, why couldn't she have just gotten pregnant by another person?
You get more fun visuals with the car.
Lesbian, but I thought about it at one point, and I decided I didn't even want to look it up because I loved the movie so much. I was like, I'm just going to go with
and
it.
whatever it is, it is.
I don't know what it symbolizes. I just think it was great.
That's so crazy.
And there's
it doesn't matter.
What I have told you about that movie is like just the surface level shit. There is so much more going on in this movie.
wild.
It's insane. It's so good. I can't recommend enough to everybody. Watch Titan. Watch Orphan First Kill. Only if you have a strong stomach.
Orphan First Kill I'll watch. I watched a different Orphan movie, but I don't.
Well, there was
remember.
the first one from like 20 years ago or something.
Yeah, I watched that.
Which I do not like that movie.
No, that movie is shit.
I find that movie way too nihilistic for my liking. But
yeah, I don't remember that much about it. I remember like generally what the plot line is, but if you're telling me First Kill is good, I'll watch that.
It was really good. It's a prequel, so it's like you don't even need to see the second one because you can, this is the first one technically.
Have you guys ever watched The Ninth Gate before with Johnny Depp?
Yes.
What a great movie.
I just watched it for the first time last night. It's not like a horror, but it's like not spooky, but it's dark.
Isn't he like getting like, books that are supposed to
I guess
open
and lots of people die. Yeah, lots of people die. It's so
I haven't watched it since I was a kid.
It's a great movie.
I feel like it's like a horror version of like the Da Vinci Code.
Yes.
Basically.
That is exactly what it is. That's exactly
I watched Good Boy this past weekend.
How is it?
It's good. It's really sad.
I mean,
and
that's
not for the
kind of
reason
why
I think
haven't.
you'd think it would be.
Yeah, that's why I haven't rushed out to see it. It's
that. Let me tell you something. If I find out that dog is AI and it doesn't exist, or it they CGI'd his face, I'm gonna be so upset because this dog is the most emotive animal I have ever seen on film in my life. He spoke poetry with his eyes. I love this fucking dog. I would have died for this dog.
This is how I know that Eric is the writer amongst the three of us, because just the sentence, he spoke poetry with his eyes, is more beautiful than any sentence
100%.
I could have constructed.
You're going to watch this movie and you're going to be like, oh my God, he is a poet. Look at him. He's so sweet. He really is a good boy.
I think we've spoiled enough here. If somehow you've made it this far into the episode and you haven't read Better the Devil, what are you doing?
What are you
good
doing?
For the people that are too scared. If they get anybody who gets too scared while they're reading it, they can just come here and be like, I just want to hear how it ends. Tell me how it ends.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you're missing out because
you're gonna love it.
The ending, the last few chapters are just a fucking roller coaster.
Roller coaster. Truly a roller coaster. It's so good.
Can't wait for the next one,
from
Eric.
Final Destination 3.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Cannot wait for the next one, Eric.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.